Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage the owner, president, and general manager of the Dallas Cowboys, and every night, but especially tonight, a proud father, Mr. Jerry Jones.
Bam. Toby Keith, that's a dangerous spot. These buttons do pop off. You know that, don't you, down there? Toby, it's an honor to be in this room with you tonight, and both our appreciation for what Nancy is all about, as this room is here to honor. But I want to share a couple of thoughts with you, as it would have it, about my daughter. When we bought the Dallas Cowboys, and I don't want to get into detail, but I bought 15% of the Dallas Cowboys from the government, the FDIC. They had been foreclosed on. The Cowboys were losing $1 million a month when I bought the Dallas Cowboys. Now, you talking about calling the wagons in, it was time to call the wagons in. Barry Switzer, one of Toby's greatest friends, Barry Switzer used to stand up and talk to Dion, and he talked to Charles Haley. And he would look at them in a setting of a team or even on an individual basis. And he'd say, picture me as the wagon master. And we're back in the 1700s, and we're back on the East Coast. Hadn't gone across the Mississippi River yet. But this wagon train's going to California. Now, I'm talking to the people in the train. Some of you are going to die along the way. There'll be some new faces when we get to California. They'll be born on the way. Yeah, when we get to the Mississippi, we're going to have to break down wagons. We'll lose some of them, lose some more folks. We'll float that thing, won't have the number of wagons we had when we got there. But let me make no mistake about it, man. This is Barry talking. This train's going to end up in California. I'm going to be on it. I want you to be on it. Having said that, I had no idea. I knew that we needed to get the train to California when we bought the Dallas Cowboys. What I had no idea was that I was going to call on my only daughter. And I was going to ask her to join me. And I was going to selfishly use her. Use her enthusiasm, use her energy, use her future, if you would. Right at the same time she was with Shy and being a mama, we're going to have to call on some of that baby, and we're going to have to use some of that time. And there's going to be a lot of times when it's not happening. I didn't know how it'd work, but I'm here to tell you tonight, no, I don't think we burned the wagons on Charlotte. I don't think we did. But I'm going to tell you one thing. She got some heat, and there's some firewood there, and she went across Cripple on a couple of rivers. But this girl is tough, and that's not Daddy talking. The NFL has called on her and asked her for one of our biggest challenges, which is health and safety, the issue of concussion. You know who is the greatest voice the NFL has today for that? Is the owner of the Dallas Cowboys, Charlotte Jones. Her boys play football. We have always, I say we, the Cowboys and the NFL, have somehow managed to call on Charlotte to help us get our little you-know-what out of a jam. Having said that, I can't tell you how much of an honor it is tonight to get to be up here. And Nancy, I know what it's all about, and you did get a giver when you asked Charlotte to be involved. Let me introduce my daughter, Charlotte Anderson. This isn't a Super Bowl.
Working on that. Thank you, Daddy. I'm glad to be on the wagon train with you. Well, first, I just want to say to Nancy, as a woman who has chosen her career as a female, but a person of sport, I can think of no higher honor than to be recognized by you. And what you mean to the game, what you mean to women who strive to be in the game, your commitment, your hard work, your integrity, your competitive nature, your ability to toss around with the guys and achieve the greatest accomplishments. You are a role model for all of us, and I thank you. I thank you for your leadership, and I thank you for your accomplishments, because not only do you have many firsts associated with you, and I'm sure many people ask you, what is it like to be the first, that your response is, it's actually my obligation to make sure I'm not the last. And because of you, I'm standing here today as well, so thank you. But I know a lot of us in this room have always said that we stand upon many shoulders of those who came before us so we can reach new heights. I certainly stand upon some very strong shoulders. I think my father, as you probably all know, is quite a large personality, probably the most passionate person that I have ever known. And I think all of that passion rubs off a little bit on some of us, but it certainly has rubbed off on me. And I think he's probably the only one who has had more belief in my ability than I have ever thought about having in my own. And when I was young, he used to tell me that I could be president of the United States if I wanted to. So he never saw gender. And because of that, he has given me an incredible opportunity to pursue my passion, which just happens to be football, and do unique things with it. But if I get my passion from my dad, I get my compassion from my mom. And I think there's probably not a greater role model from women than my mom has been for us. She always preached, to whom much is given, much is required. And I lived my life under her guidance, knowing that with all the many things that you have been blessed with, it is a responsibility to make sure you use that and shine that light onto others who don't have the same opportunity that you do. So I thank you for instilling the compassion into all of your family members, but particularly into me. And I have to recognize my husband, Shai, and my son, Paxton, who is here today, who is the basketball player of our family. And from them, I will say, if you know anything about sports, it's all about trust and teamwork. And you certainly can't do it alone, so you have to have a strong team behind you. And from them, I've learned trust, I've learned teamwork, and I've learned social media. So thank you, Paxton and Haley and Shai, who are not here today. But, we sit back and reflect on what we have the opportunity to accomplish. And Jason Garrett, our head coach, was addressing our team, and he was talking about the importance of integrity and character. And he said, the purpose of life is to live a purposeful life. Well, I believe that the greatest responsibility that we have with the Dallas Cowboys is what we can do to help those in need. And I know that people don't stand in line and buy tickets to see grace and mercy at work. And they don't fill the stands and cheer for acts of compassion, because compassion is not a spectator sport. Everyone has to play. And there's no one who plays harder than Nancy Lieberman. Nancy, thank you. Thank you for using your platform, for using the many accomplishments that you have achieved to make lives better for those who would otherwise not have a chance. Thanks for this honor tonight. I appreciate being here with you. Good night.